Oh,
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the First Chapter with Jolanda, Olivia, and myself, Carmen. We're so glad you're back with us. And today our topic is whatever comes to mind. We all had a pretty busy weekend, so we're just going to talk as friends and just catch up with each other. So, what's going on, ladies? What's
same
up?
old, nothing and everything.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll start. As you all can see,
Mhm.
I have on a brace, shoulder brace. As you know, we are 50 and beyond.
Who's beyond?
Oh, we're almost there. Almost 50 and beyond. Let's just put it like that. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a touch. Let's touch. And anything could happen to you at 50 years old. So this happened to me. No, I was not swinging from chandeliers. No, I was not out trying to be Superwoman, saving the world. No, I was not trying to be Miss Fitness USA. I hurt myself sleeping. Yep. Sleeping. I slept the wrong way and I
Mm-mm.
strained a muscle in my neck, the back of my shoulder, and the front of my shoulder. So one, two, three. Because apparently I sleep like a bird. You remember how a big bird would go to sleep and he would turn his his head and put it on his arm and go. So apparently I sleep like that because I turn my head into my neck and I sleep my head into my shoulder, I should say, and I sleep like that. And I that's wrong. So everybody knows that's wrong. And I have messed up my neck pretty bad. So now I need this brace to stop the muscle spasm and pain that goes through my shoulder. And then after um, that is under control, then I'll be going to physical therapy because I can't raise my arm any higher than this. I can get it up there, but it's like deadlifting. You know how you try to do this and then you got to go to get it up. So yeah, that's how I I gotta to get my left arm to go up. Like my right arm can do it with no problem, but my left arm can't do that.
Gotcha.
So I guess then our topic retirement would be what are some of the things that happen to you once you hit 50?
Right. So that is something that really happens. I mean, you can really do anything. You can turn the wrong way and just injure yourself as you get older. It does not have to be something that you are strenuously doing. So, yeah, moral of the story is be careful, be intentional, but just be be careful
Ooh, okay. Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that you don't end up in a sling.
In a sling.
So do you have a special pillow you sleep with now?
So now I do have a very expensive pillow.
Mm.
Because it costs. You know what I mean? As you get older, it costs. There's a very high cost to getting old, you all.
Well, hopefully you can pay for it once you get
Oh,
older.
I'm gonna yeah, exactly. I ain't got no choice. I'm gonna pay for it because I'm headed into the next century. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm headed into that next one, and I'm gonna pay the cost. So
Okay.
yes. So now I have this ergonomic pillow that cradles my neck and keeps my shoulder back so that I can raise my arm but not my shoulder and still, feel comfortable sleeping there. I got to get used to it because then I'm still in the force of habit of trying to, you know, when I can't do that.
So do you have one of those beds that raise up and go down?
So I used to have one of those beds.
It sounded like Olivia has some inside knowledge because you asking all the right questions. I'm like,
No,
what?
I'm just asking
I
because
used to have one of those beds. I did. I used to have
Uh,
one of those beds. And then I didn't get it for me. I actually got it for my husband because, we were trying to figure out he snores like a Mack truck. And we're trying to see if we can get him to, kind of alleviate the snoring.
mhm.
And it did not work. But I wanted, you know what I mean? The whole bed raised up and down. I just needed his side to raise up and down. So I didn't want it anymore because I don't want to be raised up because I slide back down into a crunch ball.
Mm.
And though he may stay straight, I'm like this. 'Cause I keep sliding. So I'm like, no, I don't want this bed anymore. So now they have the ones, they have the ones, the twin mattresses they kind of cut in
Mhm.
half and they go, one side can raise while the other one side lays down. I'm like, why didn't I didn't know that. When I bought the one, I would have bought that one instead. That probably would have worked out better. But now there's just a wedge up
Mm.
under that goes across, so he can wedge himself up, and I don't have to worry about that.
Okay. All right. What? Olivia got something to say. Look at her face. What's up?
I have something to say. I'm just asking a question. I'm
Ask
asking her
it.
what's going on. That's it.
Well, that's what's going on with me. What's
That's
going on
it.
with you,
Because
Olivia? What is
I'm
going
just
on with
laughing
you?
because I use my daughter's jelly bean pillow in between my knees because my knee hurt. So that's what I was asking. Do you have a
And why
special
does it?
pillow?
What's wrong
When
with your
your knee start
knee?
hurting.
What's
My
wrong
knees
with your
always
knee?
hurt. And it's really been hurting now that I've actually been running. So
So now you
those
started running. When did you start running?
last two Saturdays, my fitness coach, Becca, I love you, but she been trying to kill all of us. Yeah, yesterday was speed and agility. Last week we ran a 5K. So, and I ran the whole thing on concrete. And so my knee was like, I love you. But when I was younger, I actually dislocated my the kneecap. So
Mm.
I had to have a brace for a long time. So every now and then when I was younger, my kneecap would move and I'd have to put it back into place. So it's healed fine now, but like when I run or do a lot of strenuous bouncing without like cushions or anything, and it's just on hard floor, it does start to hurt. It there's pain there. So I've actually been sleeping with the pillow because I sleep like Carmen, she sleeps like this, but I sleep in the fetal position. So I always sleep like this in the fetal position. So my knees are always raised up to my chest. Um, Always on the left side because you're supposed to sleep on your left side. If you sleep on any side, it's your left side so that your heart can keep pumping all your digestion. So if you sleep on your right side, it actually messes up your digestion and you're more likely to get a heart attack if you sleep on your right side. So just FYI. Anyway, I sleep with the pillow in between my knees, so my knee doesn't fall on top of the other knee. So I know there's a pillow that I'm gonna get this week. It's a knee pillow that you put, it has like two indentations on each side and you put it in between your knees.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that
that's the
before.
only reason I asked you about the pillow because I was laughing because I was like, I feel your pain. So
Did you
yes.
know?
And
Did you know?
I have one of those. I don't have one of those cool neck pillows, but I wanted to get one since I always sleep in fetal position. And sometimes like my arm gets numb from sleeping in the fetal position. So that too.
Did you know that if you have a FSA or HSA account, that if you go on Amazon and put in those items, to put in FSA or HSA items, a whole list of stuff could come up that you can buy using that account instead of actually have to pay for it. And I saw that pillow that you're talking about on there. So if you have that,
Yeah.
use your account to buy that pillow. Don't come out of pocket with it if you don't have
Oh yeah, I'm not coming out of pocket for that.
to.
Uh-uh.
Joe, what's going on?
Hey.
So what's
Um,
going on with you, Jay?
are we talking about
We
ouchies
can
and,
talk about
and
anything. I'm
ouchies?
just
You
laughing that that I had the same
Well,
thing.
my ouchie, I'll start with the ouchie. My ouchie happened 2 years ago, and that's when I tore my ACL. So that was my prelude to 50. Um, However, I have a new ouchie. So yesterday, I was sitting down and I stood up, and in my right, what's this thing called?
your thigh?
Thigh, it felt like someone had lit it on fire. It was such a sharp pain and it burned. So that's new. That happened when I stood up.
And all you did was stand up.
I stood up.
Mhm.
Don't know where it came from. It burned for about an hour or so, but I kept on moving. Life has to go on. I wasn't immobilized, so yay. And what's what muscle is that?
Your forearm.
I know it's my forearm, but people hurt it when they get carpal tunnel, carpal
Carpal
tunnel.
tunnel syndrome.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I
Mhm.
heard both
The
of
femur.
those.
Your femur.
Is that my femur? I should
The
know this with
bone.
my degree.
You the one who was the science major.
Baby, it's been so long. Anywho, whatever this thing is, I heard both of them from doing planks on Thursday. I planked too long. So, yay, learned that. So, those are my new ouchies. As far as what's been going on, I haven't really done much exciting stuff. The three of us attended a graduation virtually today. That was nice. One of our lifelong friends, his son graduated from University of Illinois, degree in engineering. So it was nice to celebrate that with our tribe. That was cool. Brought up a lot of memories. I've honestly been really worried about my cousin Carmen because as you see, she's braced up, so I was worried about her. Um, that's really what's been going on. Let's see, what can we talk about? What's going on in the
Don't
news?
want to. You don't have to. We don't have to do that.
Yeah, huh? We can't just sit here.
We're not sitting here. We're talking. But it was nice to see Powers son graduate and see his daughter um and them all together. It was very nice.
And speaking of, so don't get me wrong on the dates because I don't know the date. I think it's next week or the week after. So Carmen's baby will be graduating. When's she graduating?
Thursday
See, I was close. Next week. So she'll be graduating from not eighth grade girl, from high school
from a
on
high
her
school.
way to college. So where's she going?
She is going to the University of Wisconsin in Stevens Point. Yay!
So that's exciting for this
Yeah,
week coming. And then Olivia's daughter, her baby, will be graduating next year.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it.
yeah. Next year she'll be home on Tuesday night.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, graduate next year. So we wrapping up, graduation season. Mine are, I'm the old head on that. Mine graduated December of 2023. It, it has been that long. It doesn't feel like it. So it was good to share in that with family and friends. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for everybody.
yeah. I'm glad that they shared the link with us. You know what I'm
Me
saying, so
too.
that we could be a part. I wasn't
Yeah.
able to capture the pictures like everybody else was. I was like, shoot, I'm arm not able to move as quick to catch. I didn't get it out at all.
I didn't even think about capturing the pictures until Olivia said, and I was like, "Oh, that was a good idea." I was just watching.
I was too.
Well, I
Yeah, he
did
was
Why
that
did?
gone.
when
He
we
was
had the
gone
link
by
for
the time I get
Joey's
there.
son.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
you
able to do it
did.
because I had my phone up and I was like, tick, tick, tick. I was able to really get Joey's son when we did it. But I was fumbling trying to get my hands right, and this hand is not. Yeah. And I was like, shoot, I can't get him.
I want to say this. Why was there 700 bazillion children graduating?
I know there
Because
was
they do the doctoral,
No,
master's,
no,
and
no,
bachelor
no,
at the same time.
Olivia. I,
under
I,
and just the undergrad, just the
no, no.
undergrad.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I've been to 7 bazillion graduations. I swear, we had to see about 300 kids before we even got to 'em. I was like, my Lord, this is only one discipline. We
Right.
haven't even gotten to the next one yet. So I mean, for the world, that's a blessing. Engineers, you got a whole lot of them just came out today. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
That was a
Wow.
lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot of babies. But um, that really speaks well of
I
our
kept
school
counting.
system and
I kept
everything.
counting us. I kept counting us going.
Girl, if it was 10,
I was like, I'm like. I'm still on one hand. I'm still on one hand.
Girl, Glenn was laughing at me. That's my husband's name. Because I was like, oh, that sounds like a little black name. So I would pay attention and like,
Hmm.
yay. That ain't right, but it's the truth.
I
So
did. I did. You know what I mean? I was like, I know one name for sure, but I'm just trying to count.
yeah.
Well,
But
I think it says more, and I posted this in our group chat about the fact that as the time of our lives now and how we grew up and where we grew up and the generation that we grew up in, uh, out of the group, we have five graduates from college already.
that's
Five.
true.
And no drama, no trauma. Everybody's been able to move and do whatever they're needed to do. Um, Carmen is taking the rear because she's got the youngest. So once she gets the youngest one in, I have one coming out. My son chose a different path. He went military. So that's
So did
something
mine.
totally
Mine didn't,
different.
and he didn't choose
Um,
traditional college. He went kind of like a trade school. So yeah.
so we have kids that have moved forward and we haven't had like major trauma and drama, which is a testament to us as parents, considering that we had a lot that we had to deal with coming up, growing our children where our parents didn't have. We didn't have social media. We didn't
Mm,
have internet. I mean, we were at the beginning of internet when you would have to type the number and dial and go through your
Dial up.
telephone.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So it's amazing to see where they are now and like how they're going to progress in life, considering that they have a whole new world that's opened up to them.
Hmm. That's
So
very true. That
it
is
is.
very true.
It's so true.
We are the defining decade. You know that.
I
Our
know Gen
generation.
X.
Yeah, we are the defining decade.
You
So
know what I think
Yeah.
is funny about you saying that? Like, if I watch TikTok or something, and they attribute so many of the things that were Gen X to millennials. And I'll be
Yeah.
looking, I'm like,
And they're not millennial at
yeah,
all.
but yeah,
that
they are.
wasn't you, but it don't matter to me none. That's why we're the forgot generation because you guys just take our little stuff and put
Hmm.
it on other groups. I'm like, no,
Hmm.
that was
Yeah,
us.
because millennials were not latchkey kids.
No.
Millennials were outside drinking out the water hose. Millennials were not riding their bikes all day. Millennials were not getting their butt spanked. Millennials weren't doing any of that stuff. None
No,
of it.
no.
Like
Wearing business
maybe if
casual
you
to
were
the
born
club.
79, 80,
Hmm.
maybe,
Right.
but no, you weren't part of that. So please stop claiming millennials our stuff. Now, we had a lot of stuff, and I am going to claim it. I'm going to claim our teeter totters. I'm going to claim that hot ass slide, metal slide that we used to go down
Yeah.
that took all the skin off your legs. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to claim the tetanus shots that you got on the monkey bars. I'm going to claim riding down the street on handlebars with no helmet, no nothing. I'm claiming drinking out the hose, chasing the ice cream man down the street, trying to get you some ice cream without other people knowing that the ice cream man was there. But you know, you heard the song and everybody came out. I'm claiming walking to the corner store to
With a
get your mama some cigarettes
with a note
or
from your
some
mama
milk.
to get the cigarettes and the lottery tickets.
Yep, and getting candy with the change. I'm claiming all of it. It's not yours, millennial. It's not yours.
And especially that latchkey kid thing.
Yeah, that's not yours.
That was never no. You were never left at home by yourself. Never.
You're
You
the
would not.
reason why DCFS came.
Yeah.
Millennials, you're the reason why DCFS started.
Why would you say
Not
that?
the latchkey kids. Latchkey kids, didn't
Because
nobody mess with us.
no, because we knew better. Don't you do nothing. You come in, you lock that door, you make yourself a sandwich, you sit down, you do your homework, and you watch TV until your parent get home. So you don't make a peep of sound. Let
And
anybody
that
know
was
that you is
every
in there
race.
by yourself. You
Yep.
never make it, or else you're gonna be in
Yep.
a whole lot of trouble. So that's what you did. But no, millennial kids went home. yelling out windows, carrying on, acting crazy, being
They
outside,
were
and
the
then
ones. That's when the
doing
rule came
everything
in
like
that you
that.
couldn't leave your kids
Then yeah,
under 12
exactly. Then
years
they
old
knew
at
them. Yeah.
home.
Then they
Oh,
found out that they was at home by themselves.
They the reason. That's when the laws came out.
okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I was a latchkey kid at 8. I think that was the first time I had the key around my neck,
Yes.
and I would get off of the school bus, and at the end of my block, my direct neighbor in front of me, then the house next to that house, and then the one directly next to me were all retirees. So it was Mr. and Mrs. Woody, the Jobsons, and Bill and his wife. So my mom let them know this is the time Jolanda gets home. Keep an eye out on the house. So literally until I graduated from high school,
I was about to say, yeah,
um,
somebody was
they
watching
they would
you.
watch me, and I would have to go in the house, call my mom, call her at work and say I made it home, and then I would be home until she got home. And like as I got older, though, like the high school, I would sit on the porch and like she would know that I sat on the porch and who I sat on the porch with because the neighborhood watch had called her. Was like, yeah, she sat on the porch from this time to this time with the little girl that had this on and blah blah blah. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Most definitely.
Oh,
We
she did
Yeah.
didn't
open the
do
door.
all of
Oh,
that.
oh, oh, I remember the time she opened the door for that little one, the little dark skinned one. They always come over there. Who is that? Oh, that's her cousin. Okay, she
Oh,
can
for
let her
you,
in the
they knew
house.
you. They
Yeah, they
knew
was like they.
you.
She let you. Just let your door open for the cousin.
They knew you. And it was, yeah, that's why I was like, so millennials were the DCFS? Because I did always wonder
They
when did
did.
it shift? Because
Yeah,
With
people
the
because it was the
knew,
millennials.
millennials.
okay, people knew that children were home alone. They just didn't bother them, you
It was
know?
the millennials.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
Ooh.
their time that's when like I could even see it from when my parents were because my parents are teachers, like the shift in like them calling DCFS on teachers and teachers having to call DCFS on parents and all of that stuff. It
Hmm.
was when the millennials came through. So
Okay.
once they came through, it was
Wow.
like the whole
Okay.
shift changed. And so that's something like growing up, what was your favorite memory growing up? For me, it was going outside and playing, and I played Barbies for a long time. Going outside, playing Barbies with my girlfriends across next door to me, and having to ask to walk across the street, like
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
directly
oh,
Yeah.
across
yeah,
the street
yeah. We did.
to
You
the
Yeah.
had to
other
add.
friend's house
Yes, you had to
to
ask across the
play.
street.
To sit,
Hmm.
and we had to still sit on the stoop. Wasn't like
Hmm.
we was going nowhere.
Right. You had to
Sit
stay
on the
on the.
stoop and play.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that was your favorite
Or
memory?
playing double dutch. Like
Okay.
those were like the my favorite kid memories.
Hmm. Do you have favorites, Carmen? I can't.
Yeah, I have a favorite.
What's your favorite? I'm trying to think of a specific favorite.
My favorite is always the summertime, and uh, Jolanda spend the summer with us. It was always my favorite that Jolanda would come every day. Um, and she would be early in the morning. She'll come, she'll take off her shoes and everything else and make me scoot over or somebody scoot over in the bed, and she'll get in with us, and we'll sleep probably till about what 10. Then we'll get up, and we'll make ourselves something to eat, or my dad had made us something to eat, and we would ride our bikes all over
Mm,
everywhere, and then we'll come back and we'll watch TV, or we'll find something to do. Jolanda and I will always find something to do. So my my summers was always full with Jolanda, with me and Jolanda. Those were the adventures of Carmen and Jolanda.
we had many adventures.
Yeah,
Some that shall never be named, but
yeah,
we had some good times.
yeah.
You know what? In the same vein, because I was going to say bike riding, but I'm gonna take that off because you've already said it. Block parties. That truly was my
Ooh,
favorite. I miss
yeah.
that. Like people don't do block parties anymore. It wasn't, you didn't have to get permission from the city or anything. You literally would just take two cars, park them at both ends of the street. Everybody knew what day and what time. They came out in the middle of the street with the barbecue grills.
Mhm.
And all the parents would have ice cream and coolers and the little freezy pops. And if you were lucky enough to have um, a store lady on your block, it was real lit because she had the pickles with the
Well,
um,
yeah.
what is that, peppermint sticks and
Sticks.
all of the little freezy things and the
Mhm.
chips. But just to have the freedom to come outside and you could skate up and down the street or ride your bike.
Mhm.
Like we don't do that anymore. Like when we lived in Illinois, um, and my girls were young, like elementary young. So we're going to say late 90s, early 2000s. Well, before 2005. So before 2005. You know, Tyler was born in 98, sweetie, and Morgan was 2001.
Right.
So, because Olivia made a
Yeah.
face. So,
It
anywho,
would be, but
late 90s, early 2000.
Mhm.
you didn't move until 2000,
No, I
right?
was,
Oh, no, she.
yeah, but I'm just giving a time frame for
Okay,
historical
okay,
reference. But it
Mhm.
okay.
ended by 2005 because the neighborhood changed. So when I first moved, I lived in Antioch, Illinois. So when we first moved there, it was mostly young kids, mostly young parents. So we would sit out on our driveways and talk. Usually it was the moms, you know, the dads. Um, it's not a slight to them, but they weren't the ones sitting outside with the children. So we would sit in our driveways and the kids would play. And that was my last time having a block party.
Mhm.
Um, Multicultural area, which really shocked me that the people would all still want to do it. But we had a couple of block parties, and we would also do Fourth of July fireworks for the kids.
Yeah, I remember that because Kaden and
Yeah,
I would come up and
right.
yeah.
So the
Mhm.
kids really enjoyed that. But about 2005, I don't know if it was, they started with the video games and the phones and just being more in the house and
Mhm.
less outside. So it was kind of over. And when I go back, because my mom still lives over there, she says they don't do any of those things. Like, you know, you used to sit in your house, even in the wintertime, and after school, you could hear kids.
Mhm.
You could hear the children. Saturday morning, you would hear the lawnmowers. You would smell the green grass and smell barbecue in the summertime, especially on the south side in Chicago.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, you would smell ribs and hot dogs and green grass and hear all the children laughing and playing. We don't have that anymore. It's just quiet.
Mhm.
I,
Mhm.
I don't like that. I
But you
like
know
the
what? There's a difference in, because I lived in the suburbs of the city but close to the city, you know what I mean? It's
mm,
just like maybe a mile difference. And from there to now living in the city, there I do hear now children. There's like
mm,
ton of children running up and down the block playing, you know what I mean? I hear
okay.
that now. I hear the backyard parties. Like last night, they were having a great old time down the street. I was like, oh,
I miss a
okay.
good backyard party. That's
Yeah,
Chicago. That'll
yeah,
never go away. You all
yeah,
will always have backyard
yeah,
parties.
party.
Oh, I
Hmm.
miss that. We don't have those here.
Yeah. So I mean, those are the things I do like. Those
Yeah.
are good memories about being,
Yeah.
you know, I think. And and then when our good memory is when I was just younger on our street, the neighbors, the parents would sit outside in the backyard, like because the fences were just those chain link fences,
Hmm.
so they can actually sit in the yards and they will talk over the fences. They would just be back there, and the kids would be out front. They would let us, if after the street light go on, if they were outside, then they'll let us say if you on, our porch or you were down the street on another neighbor's porch, as long as that neighbor was parent was out in the backyard,
Hmm.
then we could be on their porch. And we would
Yeah.
just run up and down the street catching lightning bugs in a jar.
Gosh,
Yeah.
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 actually,
Catching
lightning bugs.
lightning
There's not even
bugs.
lightning bugs anymore outside.
I
I
haven't
know.
seen them.
I have not really seen lightning bugs. Where did
Mm-mm.
the bugs go?
Mm. Do you guys remember? And I don't know Olivia because I didn't know you yet. But Carmen, I didn't know you yet when we used to do this. Carmen knew because we're family, so she was there. But like when you go to 85th and the Dan Ryan to the family picnics and all the kids, girl, we was in the damn forest, unattended. in the forest, walking trails. Ain't not one parent. Now that's the time the parent didn't
Yeah,
know where we were.
right.
We was
We
just in
on
the
the
forest, walking on the
on a
trails
trail.
for hours,
Yeah.
like just gone.
And we didn't know where we were. We just hoped the
No, we
trail
didn't
would
know.
lead us back to where we came from.
We figured it out. We get back somehow. 'Cause you know, it wasn't no cell phone, so we figured.
Right.
But I miss the freedom of that. I mean, I think kids can still do it now and probably be safer. Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
don't. They
I didn't say
don't.
they don't. I said they could. They
They
could
could, and I'm
if
saying
they
they
have
don't.
phones, but you said they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
don't. I
Mhm.
mean, I look at just my students from the time I started teaching to now, and they don't go outside and play. They don't really go outside and ride their bikes like how we used to. They don't really like they don't go to their friend's house and be like, Mrs. Seals, is Vanessa home? Can she come out and play? Like
Yeah.
those things don't really happen anymore. Kids are so more introverted because of video gaming. Like I have one student that I know of that plays video games all the time. Like and now kids are into the VR games, so
Mm,
they're building their own world. So they don't need to leave out of their house because they're building a world in their VR. So
Mhm.
they don't have that same thing. You could even tell, you could look at any of these kids now, and you can even tell like they don't get the vitamin D from the sun during the summer. They
And that is
unless their
so
parents
true.
force them to do a sport that's outside, like soccer or baseball or softball or basketball, like something like that. Otherwise, these kids really don't
I
do
have
as much as they should.
never I have never heard of so many people and children who are vitamin D deficient, including
Well,
myself, including my own child, because she is not a outdoors person at all. We have to force my kid to go outside. She
mm,
is
well,
vitamin
one, I'm
D
going to say
deficiency.
this. African Americans, our melanin is one of the hazards of not getting a lot of vitamin D because we have so much melanin. It's harder for the sun to penetrate through our skin because of the melanin. So that's one. So that part is a little not her fault. But the other part, yes, vitamin D deficient all the way because they don't. Like I remember making Kennedy go outside. Like Chase, he ran. He was like, I'm going to Jack's house, and they were out. And they'd be out all day. I'd be like, Chase, are you coming home? Like today? I'm
Hmm.
gonna spend the night at Jackson's. Can you come home so I can at least see you before you spend the night at Jackson? So, but you're right. Nowadays, though, vitamin D for all children is low, and adults too.
Yeah.
But I
mm.
think that also happened after the pandemic because prior to the pandemic, more people were outside. I really believe that more people were
I
outside,
guess
more
so.
people congregated, more people had parties. There were more like those block parties that Jolanda's talking about, more picnics, more things like that. Once the panty hit, people pulled into themselves and they really saw like, hmm, I could be alone. And they pulled into themselves. And some of those people still have those mentalities of, "Hmm, I'm good by myself. Like instead of going out and exploring. So I just think that at this point, we need to take our vitamin D and we need to get the
And
sun.
get out
Now
there.
I'm like,
Get out there
I'm
and
laying
get
out
some
like
sun.
Yeah.
I
people
know
are
I
like,
am. I'm
outside
going
tanning. I
outside.
need all the sun I can get
Hmm.
Hmm.
before winter comes. And it's even worse for people who live up north versus people who live down south too.
So, hmm.
Mm. I
So
can say I see a big difference. I don't get the winter blues anymore. Even
Hmm.
like all last week was very gloomy and cloudy and rainy here. But as you can see from the lighting, it's very bright and sunshiny today. But even with the the cold, and we do actually get cold, so let me not air quote the cold. Even when it gets cold and that gloomy, that December, January time, I don't get the blahs like I used to in Illinois. Um, yeah. So I would have said before I experienced it myself that you get it anywhere you go, but it's different. And the
Hmm.
sun is even different here. Like I just go sit outside and just sit there just to feel the sun. The sun feels different than it felt in Illinois. And again, I've now lived Illinois, Georgia, New Orleans, so Louisiana, and North Carolina. Um, yeah, the Georgia sun is different than all of them. I can say that. I prefer living here, but I will never let go of my Chicago in the heart forever. But, but as for me and mine, living here for my health and my well-being and my mental clarity has been best. Yeah, it's definitely different. It's a different type of sun. People are people, so you have the a-holes and all that everywhere. But yeah, all that to say for the sun thing, I go out and get my vitamin D, but I have to. I've been lucky with my girls because they grew up. They're older. They're 26 and 23, so they grew up in the generation still, like you said with Chase, and I'm sure, and I know with CJ, he was outside too,
Yeah, he
that
was
they went
outside.
outside. You
Yeah.
know, you would have to
Mhm.
say, "Can you come in the house now?
Hmm.
Aren't you
Yeah.
tired of it? Are you hungry? Would you like something to eat? Come, go to the bathroom." So they still go out and do stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
so I've been lucky with that. But my neighborhood, we had a new influx of younger kids. I think only two of my neighbors have I seen the kids ride bikes. Everybody else, they get off the school bus, they go in the house.
And
You
you
don't
don't
see
see
them no
him no
more.
more.
You don't see them, you don't hear them. You know. So it's very odd for me as a parent to see that because I like the noise of children. I like loud children. It makes me happy because that means they're happy.
Yeah. I know. That's why I always, hear when I hear the kids down the street, yelling and they just screaming and playing, running up and down the street. I mean, my husband be like, "Those kids are loud, so those kids are playing.
They're
Let
enjoying
them,
themselves.
let them play,
Yeah.
scream. At least if they scream, you know where they are.
Thank you.
You know."
Thank you. And they don't have well, how we got on just talking about children, but it's something we all have in common. But they don't have escapes like we had or even our older children had. Like I could go with $20 to Great America, aka Six Flags. So you
Oh my
go,
God.
you had your $20. Usually you would take a canned food item and get in for free with your canned food item because they always did that. It was a campaign they forever did. $20 you could eat and you could get a souvenir. Not a whole lot of them. You get one good meal, maybe two souvenirs, and you may be able to play a game.
Or
Plus,
you
right
walk
on.
to Burger King to save some of the money.
Well, I never did the walk to. You lived
Oh,
in Lake
You live
County,
there. You
so
live
Cook
there.
County kids, we didn't know
We
you
didn't
could
know.
do
We didn't
that.
know that. We could only do what we can do in Great America and get back
Yeah,
on that bus and go
we couldn't
home.
leave the park.
Right? Exactly. We couldn't leave the park.
So, but you could take $20 and have a good day. Our friend Erica, that's no longer with us, her and I would take
she's not
$20.
dead.
She's not dead.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. She's still alive and kicking and healthy and thriving. I do pray. I'm sorry
She
that did.
just is not part of our group anymore.
Thank you. I did sound like that. Apologies. But her and I would get $20 and take the bus to Ford City, watch a movie, eat Taco Bell, and get a New Kids on the Block poster, magazine, or tape, and come back home with $20.
Yep.
That was our weekend. So you can't
I would
even
go to
get a
Lakehurst,
hamburger.
which is now
Lakehurst.
the Walmart or Fountain Square. And I'd go to Lakehurst and go to the arcade. Then we used to go to merry-go-round to
Oh
go.
I
yeah.
remember
And
merry-go-round.
then we'd go to Claire's Orange Julius so I can get my juice. Then we'd go to, that was
Contempo
back when we
Casual was
still
my
had
store.
Marshall Fields, go to Marshall Fields and get a little bit of candy, uh, get a Mrs. Fields cookie.
You had
Uh,
expensive outings.
it still was under $20.
Oh, it
That
was just
still fit
look,
into 20
name
bucks.
brand.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, I was looking. I never spent. Spent on food. Don't get it twisted. I was not buying that stuff. If my parents were there, I wasn't buying anything except
I
for maybe when we go to Sam Goody, I would get
Oh,
at Sam
Sam
Goody
Goody. Oh
they
my
still had
gosh.
the records, so I would get the smaller one,
45.
the
the
45.
45. So I'd get a smaller 45 because I had a record player. Um, I didn't really get into tapes until my dad started using tapes. My dad was
Oh,
a 45 and the big ones.
Cassette tapes were my thing. I love
Well,
cassette tapes. Remember
that's
Coconut Records? Y'all remember Coconut Records?
no.
Coconut,
yeah,
yes,
the one with the
yes,
palm tree. Had the big
yeah. The
palm
one,
tree with coconuts on it.
yeah.
I don't
Jolanda,
remember it.
we used to get three cassettes for $10
Oh,
at
I don't doubt you.
Coconuts.
I'm just letting you know I
Yeah,
don't recall the name.
yeah. Coconut
I don't
Records.
doubt you at all.
Yeah, you could get three cassette tapes for $10.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the singles were 199. I know
Cassi-
that was
Yeah.
yeah, the
everywhere. So
cassette singles. That's what I'm talking about.
Or
The
yeah.
if they
cassette
were on sale, they
singles.
were
Okay.
99 cents
Yes,
if you
99
was
cents.
going into the clearance.
yes. And that clearance, that's what Contempo Casual. Remember, I shopped the clearance rack at Contempo Casual all the time. I never bought anything full price ever in Contempo Casual.
And that
Yeah, I
was when
wasn't
we
a
used to go to
contempo
Learners,
casual.
not New York and
Yeah.
Company.
Yeah, I was there. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
learners, learners. Oh my gosh, yes.
And you could go to Payless and get some good shoes.
Payless was kicking for quite some time because
Yeah.
my girls used to love Payless too when they were in elementary school.
Hmm.
So I hated when they just totally disappeared.
Payless
Yeah.
back then for us, you could get your prom
The
shoes, your
dyeables.
wedding shoes. You
Yeah,
could get
you're pretty.
all those
Oh, that's the
shoes
shoes, those
dyed
diables.
specifically to whatever you wanted. You can get the satin look. You can get the
Matte
crepe
finish.
look.
Great.
All of that stuff. Oh, slingbacks, pumps, skit heels, flats. Oh, life was so carefree,
It really
so
was.
carefree.
Hmm.
Well, for
You
us,
could go to the
we didn't have
movies and not have
bills.
to, and you used to be able to see not just one, but maybe two or three.
I never did that.
Oh,
Yeah, I was a square or boring or what have you. I was
Yeah,
always scared.
I didn't do it until I got older with,
I was always afraid to get
until,
caught.
somebody, was pulling me in to do it with them, you know what I'm saying? That knew
Yeah,
how to do it because I didn't do it
I
either.
didn't know how
I
to
didn't know.
do it.
Yeah,
I was
I didn't know how to do it.
scared. I was like, no, I only paid for one. I'm gonna go home. Everybody else I knew, including you two, did it, but I was scary. We will get over that. I'm not scared no more, but you know, like times are different now.
100%.
Times are different. Oh my
100%.
gosh. Okay, so we started. Olivia asked a very poignant question. What was a favorite memory from childhood? We have gone like 40 minutes into favorite memories from childhood. That is amazing. Amazing. So I'm going to steal Olivia's idea and I'm going to say, let's up it. So, what was a favorite time in your teenage years, in your adolescence? um, Something that brought you joy? I'm going to go first since I asked the question. I'll be fair and give you time to think. So, my favorite time of adolescence was when I would be allowed to go away out of town or to different parts of Illinois for conferences for top teams because I have freedom. Like, my mom wasn't right there over me. Now, it was other people's moms and the ladies who were worse than my mom, but they weren't my mom. So I felt that I had freedom and we would get to have teen parties and I got to interact with other people freely. So that was very happy for me. So whoever would like to go.
You go, Olivia.
Do, 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 do.
You go, Olivia.
For me, I guess that would be the best because I had two parents that were like this.
Yeah.
So, uh, like Jolanda's mom, my parents covered a lot. Plus, they were teachers. They were in the community. People knew them. So I couldn't do nothing anyway. Because I remember one time my dad went to work and the kids were like, Mr. Clark, we saw your daughter out at da-da-da-da-da-da." My dad came home. He said, Olivia, were you at so? I said, no. It's like, I
Mm-mm.
know you were sitting here with me, but my kids, they had such a description of what you was doing and who you were with and blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, that's why I didn't do anything in Lake County. But me going on top team events,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it wasn't like it was the bomb, but it was so much fun, like Jolanda said, being free. But the other part was going down to Chicago when I met them, because then I was free, free, free.
Yeah, but that
So
was college.
no, it wasn't. It was still high
Yeah.
school. No,
It
it
was still
wasn't. It
high
was
No.
still
school.
high
It was
school.
still high school for her.
Yolanda, it was
Remember,
still
it
high
was
school.
college for you, but
No, it
it was
No.
wasn't.
college
It
for
was high
her.
school for all of us. I met
I'm
you when I was 15. I was a
yeah,
sophomore.
okay,
I
don't get an
came down there in
attitude.
June. I came down my junior year, my senior year. You guys are
Okay.
only 1 year ahead of
Okay,
me.
sweetie. What I was talking about when I said that was college, because you said we were free free. We weren't free
No,
free.
I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about when
Oh,
Joseph would get his parents' car,
okay.
or Yogi would get his parents' car, and we would go out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, we would go to division. Is it
And we would
division?
go to the
Diversity division?
We couldn't get in.
to Bennigan's or whatever.
Right, we
We'd
couldn't
go
get
to
in
the
any
little
clubs. We would just
bowling
walk down
alley.
the street.
Yeah. We did
Yeah,
have so much fun doing nothing. Or going to Giordano's. Oh, the pizza was so good. Oh my Lord. Anyway, I done got
that's
on
what I'm
food.
talking about. They trying to keep telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. I
No,
got
I
the youngest
didn't.
mind.
And that means what? Girl, go on, Carmen. Go on, Carmen.
And it's funny that the teenage uh, best memory of is
Love you,
all of
Olivia.
ours
How you do the love?
that way. There you go.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was doing the
Don't
Korean
do
one.
this mess. That's BS. This is ours.
Okay. But go ahead, Carmen. I wasn't trying to be rude. Go ahead, honey.
But our memory is all the same. The best part was when I got to go with Yolanda to some of the top team events,
Yeah.
and because we all had those parents. I didn't go. I had older parents, so I
Hmm.
didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything unless I did it with Yolanda.
That's true.
So yeah, there was no other. There was no other place for me to go. Me and Carolyn were just in the house trying to kill each other. And
Literally.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I loved it
Can
when
we
I
dive into that for a second? I know I'm gonna do an aside because this traumatized me. I heard that siblings fought, but I had never seen siblings hurling knives at each other. I was like, "What? I who? Are we really trying to kill each other?" And then I found out later in life that that is very common.
Oh my God, yes.
I didn't know.
You like my
all that
mama,
come.
y'all only child syndrome. Y'all don't know those
Y'all don't
things.
know those things, and
I
that's
had no
totally,
idea.
you know what I mean. That's totally par for the
See,
course. Of
my
course,
kids
why
don't have
would
that
you? I
either
mean,
because it's
you
a
don't.
boy and a girl, so they don't have that. But
Okay.
when you're the same sex siblings, it ain't no joke.
And your children are closer in age
Mm.
too. Now, my children are two, and they're further apart. So, and there's one who's more headstrong than the other. So it was, what I mean, they had like maybe one fight, maybe two, where we came home and Bethany has tried to carve a piece of Canaan's hide out with a knife or something like that, or what I mean, Beth Canaan has body slammed Bethany into something or something. You know what I mean? So there's been one or two fights, what I mean, and I really think it's just because they mean like their parents are, that anger gets to them and they just
I didn't have that.
right.
You're
But
not.
yeah,
Mine were,
but for the most part, what I mean, for the most part of them, my kids is more like, they'll beat up anybody else for their sibling before, what I mean, they're very
Hmm.
protective of each other. Let's put it like that. They are. But yeah, I think it may be one or two fights. And it's only because Bethany is more headstrong than
Then
Kanan.
Kanan.
Hmm. And she's younger, and she's like, I mean, you're not taking care of me right, so let me take care of you, because you ain't take care of me. Like, why they leave you in charge? They should leave me in charge.
Oh,
That type of thing.
okay. Olivia said no. I had two on one, so it was never that. Yeah.
I love my sisters, but like you said, it was 2-on-1. So no matter what I did, no matter what I said, it was two of them against one. So I always got in trouble, no matter what. Like I could have proof. I could have a videotape. It didn't matter. There was two of them. So
Mhm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a whole different state, and they broke the screen in our apartment. And my dad asked who did it. They looked at each other. They pointed at each other, and then they said, Olivia
And where were you?
in Connecticut.
So no one
I had
noticed
been in
that you weren't
Connecticut all
there?
summer,
Wow.
all summer. They
Mm.
took my mama lipstick and wrote on the wall on my bed. They got out their cribs, grabbed my mama lipstick, wrote above my bed in lipstick. I was at school. I came home. We had a babysitter, Miss Lipskin. She didn't babysit nothing. My sisters turned the house into their own play gym. And my mama came in, and I had said, somebody put lipstick on the wall. Somebody put lipstick on the wall. Who got spanking? My sisters flipped over a glass table. Remember them old glass tables back in the day where it was like metal poles and you would just
Mm.
screw it in the glass? My
Yeah.
sisters flipped it over, took the screws out, the legs off, sitting on top of the glass laughing when we got home. My dad tried to put that table back together. It never went back together ever since. It was my dad ended up having to throw it away because he was like he couldn't make it go back together. He was like, "I'm a grown man. I can't. How did he take this apart? I don't know."
But you didn't get in
So
trouble for that,
yeah,
did you?
no, they
Okay.
finally got a whooping for that.
Okay.
But I mean,
Like
it's
one out of a
it's a lot.
gazillion, right?
I
Yeah.
took a lot of. That's why when I was old enough, I was like, I ain't never getting a whooping again. I don't care what happens. I ain't getting whooped again. Because this right here ain't no joke. And my parents were old school. Like if I got a spanking, it wasn't just my dad,
Mm.
my mama, and if my grandma was there, my grandma would beat me too. So everybody in the house beat you. My uncle came over, he would beat me. My great grandma, like everybody got a piece of you.
Mm. Well, guess I had it easy. But I couldn't blame nobody when stuff came up missing or broken. It
You
was
was the
just
only
me.
one.
But I got really good at hiding stuff. So my mom had probably a very similar table to what the twins destroyed. It was brass, so the bottom was brass in a square, and each corner had a pillar, I guess you would say,
Hmm.
and the glass
Ours was
sat
silver.
atop it. It just
Yep.
laid atop it with like those little suction cups.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
remember
And
that
like
table.
if this is the edge, the glass came over around.
Hmm.
Okay. So I would wait for the school bus in the morning, and my mom had caught me one day sitting on the table, and she said, "Don't sit on my table because you're going to break it." And I said, "Okay." But it was the best vantage point to see out the window. So I still sat there. Um, and God loved me a little bit because when I broke the table, it didn't totally shatter or anything. It literally broke an end off. And my mother used to have a whole lot of plants. So I just repositioned the table and kind of sprayed the plants over it, and threw the piece in the garbage and went on to school.
Oh,
And it was my job to clean the tables, to do all of the glass cleaning and the mirrors on the wall and all that stuff. That was my chore. So it was a very long time. But she had realized it. And, I was real nice and I started vacuuming and everything in the living room. So it was about a year before she realized her table was broken. At that point, she was mad, but it was more like, I got to laugh it off because this girl done got over on me for a year. I was like, yeah, I did. So I didn't have anyone to blame when I did things like that. It was just me. I destroyed a lot of furniture, actually. I got fingernail polish on wood furniture, so we learned how that eats up the varnish. All stuff I wasn't supposed to do. Burned holes into stuff. I was very inquisitive young child. Just want to try things. And I took apart, I get your sisters taking apart stuff. I took apart a lot of things, but I put them back
I do
together.
remember that. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
used to just make. I would just destroy stuff. I would just concoct stuff. I'll go in the kitchen, get a big bowl, put
Oh
everything
my
in it.
God. She did, and she almost got us killed. Oh, oh my God.
And
We made,
I had to make the story up in Jolanda's face. I was like, "Get yourself together,
I
because this is
couldn't.
the story that we need to tell. Do you
Oh,
understand?" I kept trying to tell her, "Do you
oh,
understand the story? I'm about to be sick. You have to agree that I'm sick. Do you understand?" I kept going over. She's like, I was like, I'm about to just go along with me, okay, Jolanda? She,
I'm so scared. Oh Lord, I'm scared. Oh my God. I don't know what we had made in that kitchen. We put
oh,
everything in a pot and cooked it. Oh Lord.
inedible, but we just was throwing stuff in the pot. I mean, and we were
Oh,
cackling like witches. Do
yeah.
you understand?
Yeah.
Cackling like witches as we just brewed up this stuff and threw up everything in there, right?
It was fun until it wasn't.
Right.
And it wasn't real fast because Mary came home real early and we didn't have time to get rid of it and clean up. And Carolyn was supposed to be watching us, but she was upstairs in the bed. So we would have got in so much trouble. But then Carolyn would also got in trouble. I wasn't trying to say Carolyn's butt at that point. I was just worried about my own. However, we all would have gotten in so much trouble. First off, for being in Mary's kitchen without permission. Secondly, for messing with her good pots without permission. Thirdly, for wasting her
For
food.
food, for wasting the food.
Girl. Oh, yeah. We alive. So she threw up in the bathroom.
Yep. As we flushed the stuff down the toilet.
Jesus in heaven.
Yep.
My
We
heart
were in
is
there
beating
clean.
fast like your mama coming. Like it
Baby,
really
she
is
ain't
beating
coming.
fast.
She ain't
She
coming. We got
probably
away with it.
she
We
probably
got away with it.
behind. Like I knew what happened, y'all.
She
Jesus.
probably
Okay.
knew, but
I'm sure she did,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah,
yeah.
childhood was great. We were supposed to be into high school. Okay.
We are into high school.
So, okay, we did high school, didn't we?
We
High
did,
school
we
we
did.
did short. We just said freedom when we were allowed to go out.
And it just coincides with all of it. It's when in
Yeah.
high school when we met and we actually started living life, like instead of being just kids, confined to the backyard and the front yard and maybe the end of the block.
I
Yeah.
mean,
But
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now we can actually go somewhere and
we
do
can
some
Well,
things.
we
go.
only had two places to
Yes, I
go:
tell
your
yeah.
house or Joseph's house. So
I couldn't
it
go
was
to
too
Joseph's
lucky.
house really. So for me, it was Carmen's house. And then if I was at Carmen's and the guys came over because they had vehicles or their parents'
Mhm.
vehicle, then I could go. Because,
Mhm.
Joseph's mom and my mom didn't care for each other. So I wasn't going over there too much. So that was that. But yeah, life was good. Life was good. And I was an overly scheduled kid. So for you, like when you said we couldn't go anywhere, I was forever gone, but it wasn't where I wanted to be.
Right.
I
You
was
wasn't stuff.
I was in forced activities because my parents had divorced. So my mom needed me to be somewhere so she could go to work and do what she needed to do. So high school was definitely a blessing. So I could have very modicum amount of freedom
Hmm.
after I turned 16, not before 16.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then even at 16, you had to be back in the house by 10. And when we were even in college, because we would go out at Carmen's house, we had to leave the house before 10,
Mm-hmm.
or
Or
else
you
we
wasn't
didn't
going.
get to go.
And Carmen almost got us messed up a
All
couple
the
times
time. It
being
was
late.
always her. Yeah.
I was like, girl,
So we gonna make it be
your
all right.
mama is going to lock us in this house if we don't go.
We was gonna make it.
She's gonna lock us in.
We made it.
Barely.
But we made it.
I'm surprised
Because
I don't have an
Miss
ulcer.
Mary, she
We
was like,
made
look,
it.
don't nothing. If y'all ain't out by 10 o'clock, click, click, click. All them locks. Click, 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 click. And you in the house for the rest of the
You're
day.
in the
Now the
house.
guys
Made
come
it
over,
though.
but you in the house.
But we made it though.
Mm, barely.
Running out with our pumps in our hand.
And they were pumps because it was business casual.
Yes.
Oh my God. Going to the club. See, this is what these kids don't know. Like VIP sections, there was a little VIP and popping bottles and stuff. We went. We had on our nice little church outfits or our business casual outfits. Guys had on their ties and their vests and their little
Hmm.
slacks, and we had on our long
Come on, they
dresses
had on
from
them fresh pair of baggies and them rayon shirts.
girl, girl, and our little chunky heels
The
on, and we'd
Yeah,
wedges.
go out and we'd be like
yeah,
just dancing to the music. Hey,
Yeah,
and then you could wear that same outfit to church the next
you literally could.
day,
very good.
or to work if you
Or
went out on
work
Sunday.
if you had to go to work, which Carmen would have to do on occasion. You
Hmm.
just
Yep,
go home
Throw the
and
jacket on over the dress. Let's
and
go.
keep
keep it
going.
moving. Yeah, can't do that nowadays. Club wear is definitely club wear. Do they even club anymore?
They
I
do.
don't know. Do
They
they?
do.
I know I went out last year to celebrate a friend's birthday in Houston. And you know that meme where they was like drink, then go to the next place and drink. I may be saying it wrong. Basically, you all the way, you out, 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 out. Yeah, we did that for the weekend because her daughters thought that would be fun.
A crawl. Doing a crawl. What's it called?
Girl, I don't know if
Crawl.
you call no, no. When weekend,
Weekend. Okay, got you, got you, got
3 days straight.
Drink, sleep.
That,
Another club. Another
yes,
club.
that.
Sleep. Drink. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we arrived on Thursday. Thursday was beautiful. It was chill. Everybody arrived. Friday, we hit the ground running. We had lunch. We went out. That was lovely. Then we came back. We got up. We went to a pole class. Came back, changed clothes, went to the second place. From the second place, went to another place. I'm sleepy as hell. I'm tired. My feet hurt. I'm 49 years old. I'm ready to go home. But we hanging. This ain't about me. Sunday, we had the day party. Then we had the afternoon party. I will tell you, that ain't my life. That's not my lifestyle. It was lovely to have
hmm
done it.
But are
I,
you done with that?
I
It
need
was-
a nap. I'm like, oh my, like everybody there, nobody except for her kids was under 40. But we was all, we gonna go, we gonna have a,
didn't anybody else just step up going, this is nonsense. I'm too old for this. I'm going to bed.
mm-mm, mm-mm. I think by
I know I
Sunday,
would have.
the Sunday day party, because Houston don't stop either. So the Sunday day party, the early, when I say day party, it was 12 after in the afternoon. We had brunch and then we went straight to the day party. It literally was 12 something. It wasn't 1 o'clock yet. We was on the rooftop. And I was like, that's fine. I can sit down. But by the afternoon party, I was just like, I can't even fake it. This B12 ain't working. I'm tired. I don't want to drink. I don't want no food. I don't want
And you
nothing. I
had
just
that look
want to,
on your face right there.
yeah, it wasn't nothing cute about me. I was done. But it was fun. I think everyone should have the experience.
I
That's
don't
the end of
need
the
it. No, no,
statement.
no,
That's the
thank
end of
you.
the statement. I didn't say today. I just said sometime in
No,
your
thank
life.
you. No, thank you.
I'm a
Um,
napper. If I don't get my nap, I ain't going nowhere.
no, it was no nap time.
And it reminds me of the
No, thank
meme.
you.
And now I truly understand the meme. If you ain't trying to catch me, if it don't start, if it's anything that starts after 9 o'clock, deuces. If I
No,
ain't been able to take a nap before,
I
deuces.
ain't coming.
I'm not doing it. Like I need to be, and on a Friday, oh no. Mm-mm. Catch me on Saturday because Friday I worked all day. Catch me
Oh,
on a
okay.
Saturday after I've done what I need to do in the morning. I've taken my nap, and then I could go. We could leave
You
like seven
gotta do
o'clock.
something on a Friday, but I gotta take a nap first. I gotta
Okay.
take a
Mm-mm.
nap first.
Now, I did just complain about the weekend, but I'm not okay. I will say this. Olivia and I met up in Nashville. We went up in Nashville. Um, I had packed all the clothes. We were supposed to be partying. I'm gonna let you know what the party was. So we were there 2 nights. Was it 2 nights? It wasn't long. I think it was 2 nights. Each night we was in bed by 10. If we, I think we made it to 10:30 the second night because we was watching not Burn Notice. What's the guy with Reddington? Oh, he wears a hat. Ah, that's bothering me. Anyway, it was a movie, Blacklist. So
Yeah,
we were
like
we were watching Blacklist while we ate, so we made it to about 10:30. Generally, I'm not even gonna front, I would have been annoyed and been like, we supposed to be out having fun and all this stuff. I don't know if it's just because that's what we needed. It was the best little weekend. Now we walked miles and miles and miles all day in the sun. But by nighttime, we all Olivia went shopping and got herself a brand new outfit to wear to go out. Did you take it back? You kept it?
it's in the car.
Oh, in the car?
Still in the
That
car.
was girl, that was months ago. Plural.
I'll wear it one day.
Anywho, so she went and bought a new outfit. We didn't make it nowhere. But I was also telling her, I need to understand things about you. Like you're saying, Carmen, you need a nap, but you can go after a nap. Olivia said, if I ain't out by 9 o'clock, we ain't going. I understand that now for real, which is why I brought it up. That's why we was in bed by 10, because we would get back maybe by 7 from wandering around. And I'm like, let's go. And she's like, well, I ready need to take a nap. So by the time we laugh and giggle for a little bit, it was just go to bed. That's just it. We done for the night. It's okay though. I'm gonna
If I
work
don't
on it.
take that nap, I'm not gonna be able to go either. So if we laughed and giggled and it was cause getting in 9 o'clock, oh well.
Y'all so funny. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we need to know.
Okay, ladies, we this is come to the point. I think we need to have a last word. What would your last word be, Olivia?
Catch me when I'm fully napped up before I go out. No, I had a great child growing up without social media, without all that stuff. It was a great childhood. That's what I'll say.
All right, Olivia.
That's
I mean,
Olivia.
sorry, Jolanda.
Um, I don't have a last word, to be honest. I think I said everything I can say. So chicken butt. Y'all know I was because I'm chicken butt.
Chicken butt it is.
Guess
All
what?
right.
Chicken butt.
Guess what? Chicken butt. All right. My last word would be that my life would not have gone the way it has, or I would not have those enjoyable memories if I did not have the two of you. I realize how much my childhood and those good memories and good times are intertwined with the two of you all. So thank you
Well, I
to
do
both of
then
you.
have something. That's because we're soulmates.
You're right. We are soulmates.
We have tried to not talk to each other and we're still here.
Honey, that don't, it didn't work. Now did it?
It didn't work. It didn't work.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Well, this was fun. This was different. Next time we'll be more scripted. As go back to our normal format. We just want to try this, see how it goes, um, and kind of take a survey, see what's preferred because we can free ball it anytime. So let us know in the comments, please, what you like best: more free balling, scripted, or
We ain't free
amalgamation of both.
balling.
It's not free ball. What is it?
Just making fun of you because boys say
Oh,
free ball.
oh,
Ah, I know, right?
so no panties? What do you say then?
Fly by the seat of our pants. How
Fly,
about
fly by
that?
I
the
about
seat
to
of
see
her
my
pants.
pants.
Okay. So,
Ah, or you guys are welcome
Anyway,
to give us a couple of topics that you all want to hear us discuss.
yes,
Drop them in the
definitely.
yeah,
comments for us.
we
We'll
are
love to have a good.
70s babies, so you can start from wherever. But this was a great time, and we will see you guys later on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.